Oh, yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. Oh, yeah, baby. And today, we're going to be taking our first look, and I've got the wrong thumbnail up. How perfect is that? For
LumaFusion, yeah. I love it. Awesome. Let's do it.
But first, we're going to kick off with a brand new single from Auntie G. This just dropped. Are you ready? Let's do it. Howdy do. Hope you're all doing well. My name's Jade. This is How to App on iOS. And I should stop this now. I nearly did a Ron Ward there and just let the next song play. What's going on? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the show. That was Auntie G with her brand new single, Sun Stop Shining. And I do recommend that you head over to Auntie G's channel and go sub her up, folks.
Boom.
There's a link pinned to the top of the chat if you'd like to do so, and go and sub her up. Go and send her a message, hit her a like, do all those kind of things. Make her feel special because she put a hell of a lot of work into that track. I know because I I was there this much of the way and got to master that. And another great video from Auntie G. She just continues to keep pushing out the amazing songs. Yes, indeed. And we love that. We've got some really cool songs to open this week, some kind of premieres and stuff like that. So that song's available too, also on streaming services and all of that jazz. Where am I? Am I doing a show? What's happening? I just forgot who I was. Hello to all the Wart Warriors. Welcome aboard. If you want to become a Wart Warrior, you can hit the join button down below if you're in a browser. If you're not, you have to go into Safari and join that way, and you can become a Wart Warrior for $1 and you get cool custom emojis. And there's a new emoji today, I think. What am I doing? There's a new emoji, and I think it is Mars Capone. So Mars Capone has an emoji today. And I will continue to keep swapping them out and changing them out and all that jazz. And I'll tell you a little bit more about the Warts Warriors thing tomorrow. There is Mars Capone's new little dude holding a little thing, which he sent me. And if you are a warrior, Wart Warrior, send me your emoji so I can do all that kind of stuff. Alrighty. Let's say hello to everybody. And all that jazz. Let's do the hellos. Let's get to the hellos, shall we? My favourite part of the day. I love saying hello. Do you love saying hello? Hello. Hello to Jim Shannon Sounds. Joe and Barry Glenn are here. I know Barry's following behind. Thomas Christ is here. Hello. Good to see you, all three of you. There's Barry sneaking in. Barry's there. Patrick Chandler's here. And Veronica too, and here comes Archie and Jughead too, and everyone is here. Jenny is trolling, lurking in the background, secretly slinking around. Gary Hubbs is here, he's on fire. Nice to see Gary Hubbs. Who else do I see in this chat? How many singles is it so far this year? 3 or 2? 2 or 3? I don't know. Good question. Sai, effing good to see you, is here. Mark Bro, hello to you. I'm going to add your emoji soon, Mark. Yours is coming. Who else? Let me see. Man, I was making a coffee before. That's why I'm a little bit late. I was making coffee and it overflowed and all the froth was everywhere. And it was just a bit of chaos. What's going on, Dave Fox? Leela's here. Hello, Leela. Lorley is here. Hello to you. Kim Harden Hudson's here also. Good to see you. Good to see you all. Thanks for being here. Today is, of course, if I've missed someone, just call me a dickhead in the chat. I know, right, Thomas? Nothing worse than overflowing froth. It's the worst thing in the world, overflowing froth. Today we are going to be looking at LumaFusion. This is a part 1 of 4 series of LumaFusion for the month of August. Yes, and because we are coming up to Songtember, and it's really exciting because everyone's going to be making tracks over Songtember, and not everybody. If you decide not to make a song, that's okay too. You know. There's never any pressure or anything like that. It's a thing. If you don't know what Songtember is, it is a concept that Peter Johns created a few years ago, where during the month of September, we encourage everybody to put their music thinking caps on and come up with a song for Songtember and then release it. And you can release it anyway. You can release it like through DistroKid, or you can release it on Bandcamp, or you can just put it up on SoundCloud, or you can put it up on Slaps, wherever you want. It's totally up to you. You know what I'm saying? So good stuff. Mark says he's hanging out with Sion. Awesome. He is a good dude, isn't he? Russ caught up with him, tried to poison him, from what I heard. Sion went over to Russ's house. He tried to poison him. And lucky Sion survived, actually. That's not true. I'm lying. So we are looking at LumaFusion, yes. And part of Pete really runs the whole Songtember thing. And what I do over here, I'm like the sidecar over here, where I try and provide little side support, where I'm going to be making my song during Songtember with all you guys. So you see my process and I'm going to be making a music video. So I'm going to be doing that whole process here to help you all with your music video if you need some inspiration and that. So that's where I'm going to be doing my little bit for Songtember. So I think it's important that we have a look at LumaFusion and all that jazz. What I can let you guys know is if you are a Patreon plug, there it is. You can become a Patreon from as little as $8 a month, where I master your songs every week. Guess what, guys? Patreons, it is the 100th episode of Patreon this weekend. And have I got some giveaways coming out of my wazoo? I have. So make sure you check your emails this week for all the giveaways that are happening. We're going to have a good old big spin of the wheel, and every Patreon is able to enter. What the hell? Anyway, whatever. That was stupid. So let's have a look at any price drops that has happened, because there's a bunch of price drops that have happened. Yes, do not upgrade to iOS 16 beta. This is some sound advice here from Dave. Listen to this. I've said it a million times myself. Do not update your iOS to a beta if it is your current driver. If it is something that you rely on, do not do it. If you have a spare device that you use for, dicking around with, of course you can do it. But if it's a daily driver, do not do it. It will screw everything up. It is a beta. It is a beta, and it's a public beta too. So do not do that. Don't if you regard your sanity as something you would like to keep, then do not do that. Absolutely. I'm sorry to hear that it's screwed everything up. Hopefully you can go back to a previous version, Mr. Fox. Price drops. Where were we? Here. Look at all the price drops. Hey, if you've ever wanted to. Russ says, I've got a spare iPhone. Yeah, but it's sitting in a bag of rice, Russ. So, hello, Russ, by the way. Good to see you. Price drops. Swarm have all of their instruments $10 off at the moment. So if you've been looking at one of these Swarm instruments, the saxophones, the tubas, the tenors, so it's all the brass stuff that is on sale. I better make sure. Oh, no, there's a violin, alto sax, everything, cellos, look at them all. They're all on sale. There's heaps of stuff that is on sale from the Swarm instruments. So if now would be the time if you want to save on, say, a bass tuba to help out with your school recital, then now would be the time. Also, UVI have a sale on as well. So Beat Hawk is down from $9.99 to $4.99. Also, if you've been ever considering something like Ravenscroft, look at that. Ravenscroft on sale, $35.99 to $79.99. Get your pork chops with that as well. Hello, Bradley. Where is Bradley? He's somewhere in here. I can't find his text. Brad, there he is. Hey, everybody. Nice to see you all. He's so polite and stoic, isn't he? Lovely stuff. Hi, Brad. Love you, Brad. So we've got the Tone Boosters apps are on sale as well, which we covered yesterday. But there you go. Ravenscroft on sale. All these Tone Boosters apps, good stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Let's get into it. LumaFusion, what is it? If you're new to the channel, LumaFusion is a video editing piece of software. It's fantastic. It's made by LumaTouch. It's brilliant. I've done heaps of shows on it. I've got a playlist over in my on the YouTube channel of like 31 videos on it, where you can watch me make music videos, use green screens. I've done so many videos on it, and I'm going to try and get back to basics and break down things over the next 4 weeks. It is able to be used on your iOS devices, your iPhone, your iPad, and your Mac devices as well. It is multi-purpose. Hello, Sean Chandler, you sexy beast.
Stunning. Stunning.
That was for Sean. Good to see you, Sean. So very stunning indeed. Now, so LumaFusion's wicked. You can start a project over on your iOS device and go and continue it over on your Mac and all that jazz, yeah? So good stuff. It's $29.99. An investment, a serious investment, because you will get a lot of use out of it. If you're using something like iMovie and you're having a good time, then now would be, and you're finding it a bit limited, And it's a good time to move over to LumaFusion because I've got plenty of tutorials for you and plenty to come to help you understand exactly what's what, what's not, and what's something else that rhymes with ot. Yeah. All right. So, shall we? Is there anything else I need to cover today? So, $29.99 is a very small price to pay for something that will give you so much goodness. So today we are actually going to be taking a look at one specific part of LumaFusion. Hello, Welton Kinder. I think I missed you there. There is the amazing Welton Kinder. Hello, Marcus. Good to see you. And yes, it does drop in price, but it's definitely something that's worth your time. So let's open it up. Here is LumaFusion. Now I'm focusing on one particular area of LumaFusion today. So if you want to know about, I don't know, over here, you're in the wrong place. If you want to know about this, you're in the wrong place. We are focusing on this little portion of LumaFusion in particular because it can be a little bit confusing at times, even for me. Now remember, I am not an expert. I am just a regular user who likes to dabble and make things. So when I do these shows, I learn things as well. You know, and you may know something even more than what I do, and that's awesome. There's more channels out there on this amazing YouTube platform that have people who are experts that you should go and check out. Rob HK is one of those people who's brilliant, and he has some fantastic packs that you can purchase for this also. Before we dive in, I'm going to attempt to drink from my overflowing coffee that's probably going to burn my mouth. Mind you, How to App on iOS merchandise, you can probably see in your YouTube thing. You can purchase stuff within YouTube now. How cool is that? You too can be an aunt. Anyway, enough of the shameless plugging. So, here we are in LumaFusion. And we'll get out of this. So there's a project open. This is what you see when you normally open it up. So you've got your projects down here. You've got your big screen now. Last week I did a video on this, just getting the basics and seeing where everything is. So go back and watch that, yeah? It goes for about an hour and a half, and it just covers a brief overview of everything. But we're going to focus again on this little sucker here. Now, I covered this last time, but you'll see this if I zoom in here. Hang on, will bring me back in. See this little like T-bar here, yeah? Or this little joystick looking thing. You can grab this at any time and you can change the shape. You can make look what you can do. You can change all this around. So we can make this whole section really big if we want to, because we're focusing on this today. But you can do all that. You can move things around to your heart's content, literally. But we are looking at the file management system today, or the media library, or the media center, or whatever you want to call it. I screwed up. I put the wrong thumbnail up today. Whoops. Damn. Shit happens, man. Life's not perfect. Okay, so this is your little import folder where all the action takes place, where you can attach, where you can import stuff from your photos library, where you can import things from other apps, where you can attach things like external hard drives, SD cards, all that kind of thing. Also, what is in here is your transitions, your titles, and the Storyblocks in-app purchase, which is a subscription which allows you to download stock images, videos, sound effects, music to use in your videos, which won't get you copyright claims and all that kind of jazz. And I can say this, if you ever do get a copyright claim for anything that you've used with your subscription with Storyblocks, just fight it. Just fight it with YouTube. Send a fight back, and just put in there that you got this stuff from Storyblocks within LumaFusion on iOS. Every time I've had to do that, it's just been removed and cleaned up very quickly because all this stuff is available for you to use, and it is no problem. So let's show you here. So you've got a little flower up the top here, pretty little flower. When you click on this, this gives you all of your sections in here that you can mess around with. So up the top, obviously, we have our photos. We have linked folders, imported folders. We have Storyblocks, which is our subscription service, which I just mentioned. Your titles. So these are pre-created titles for you. And you have a bunch of transitions. And WD, which is probably something we're not going to deal with. Let's just deal with this comment here. A copyright claim isn't a strike, though. Yes, but if you are a monetized channel and you get a copyright claim, somebody claiming that you're using their material and you've used something out of Storyblocks, then you won't make any money from your video. So you can fight back and get that overturned, so you can make money, because there are people out there who will claim anything. You know what I'm saying? You got to do that. You got to do that. If you're trying to make a living on this wonderful platform called YouTube, that is all about you. All right, so here's our little boxes here, and we'll start with the photos, yes? So we're already in the photos here. And there we are. So what you are given is basically a representation of what you already have in your Photos app. So if I lift up here, I can't do it because let's try this. We'll close this out. And if I grab my Photos app, let's do this, and drag it into my toolbar here. There we go. We open LumaFusion again. Now, if I grab my photos here and pull this up to the side, and we go to our albums, everything is, so what's over here in our Photos albums is pretty much here in LumaFusion, just so you understand the correlation between. So you get your favorites, as you can see, my favorites. And when you open these, you get a representation of what is in your Photos app. So you've got videos. You can search by years, because Apple's Photos app goes ahead and organizes your photos in years and dates and all that kind of stuff. So you can do that. And as you can see, 20,600 videos and photos I have. Just a few, yeah? Crazy stuff. And you can see you've got your photos and videos. So if I click on that, it takes us to your photos and all of them all together. And what's cool is you have options here. You don't have to see them all in this view, because this can be a little bit confusing. And this applies to all the folders. So down here, you will need to get into this section down here, your search bar and this section here. So you can change the type of how you view your folders. So you get a better little view here of like thumbnails, more thumbnails in there of your images. And you can flick between these so you can see things a bit clearer for yourself, right? Good stuff. And you also have the option to select over here how you would like to view things. So by the title, which is probably something you're not going to use for the Photos app, which we're going to go into a little bit about, and hopefully it won't be too confusing. I think maybe we'll cover it a bit later. So titles with iOS Photos app, it gives them, most of the time, photos are given a bunch of random numbers and letters. So finding photos that way is not really always going to work in the Photos app. You have your creation date is what mine's set. So when photos were created. Modified date, you've got by size, which can be handy. So you may have just imported a photo last year and you know it's really big. So if you go by the size, it's going to bring up all the things that are largest to your folder, which is really cool. You can go by duration, resolution, frame rate. Hello, Mars. Welcome to the chat. Mars has got his own emoji too. So you've got all these options, aspect ratio, sample rates, that you can do a search for your photos. We'll go back here now to a created date, because I like that. But you also have ascending and descending, so you can change the direction. So you can go back to the beginning of your first photo you ever took, or the newest one that you've ever put in there. All right, so you want to pay attention to that, because it'll really help you later on with finding photos. And for example, while we're in here, if we change this to, let's just go in here. So what you can also search as well, I forgot here, is colors and notes. So this is really cool. You can actually add colors to photos. Let's do this straight off the bat here. So I've got this photo up here. I can click on it and I can assign a color to it. Say I'm working on a project and I have a bunch of photos that I want to be able to grab before I start working. It's really smart to do this kind of stuff. So I want to use these 3 photos up here. I can click on each one, click this little dot down here, and I can assign a color to each of them. See how they get a little color next to them? So I know these are the ones I'm going to want to import into the project. And there you go. They've all got a matching color, and it puts a little color next to the side of them. So you can do that. Plus, what else you can do, this is actually really sweet. You can click on a photo and you can hit this little eye down here for information, and you can actually add notes to these images. So let's open a brand new project just to show you what we're going to do here. We'll just call this project demo. Okay, so you can actually add notes to these. So let's drag one of these into the timeline. And to drag an image in, it's super easy. You just click on it and drag it straight into your project. Super easy. And there it is. There's our little photo we've added in there. And if we hit our little I button here, you can add notes and things to these as well. So if we click the little 3 dots, look at this. You've got add notes. You can rename these things. You can change the color if you like. You've got more information about your image. So if, for example, if I go here and add a note, I can call this new Metheist. All right, and we'll stick with that. And then hit enter, and then close that out. So now that's got a note added to that particular image. So if I'm now searching for an image in here, which here's our little search bar, right? And just put new Metheist. Hopefully this will work. And it didn't work. There you go. I'm in photos. This worked yesterday. But you can actually do this. It's probably because it hasn't saved yet. I didn't actually save the note. That's why. New Metheist. Man, I've got to spell it right. Metheist. There we go. That'll do. And did I save it? There's our note. So that note's saved. So now if I do a search here, it should work now. We'll clear this out. Go away, go away, go away. Go back here. All right. So now we should be able to search this because it's got a note attached to it, which is really cool. And you can you can add notes to all these kind of photos, all this kind of stuff, which is really, really cool. So let's see if it did work. Metheist. It didn't work again. Maybe I'll go, oh, that's it. I've got to do it in here. I know what I'm doing wrong. God, I'm a numpty. I've got to do it right here. I've got to click on this photo. There we go. And add notes there. So you got to do it in, there we go. Let's just put, we'll do it again. Metheist. And save. So now it's actually saved on this picture, right? See, I was doing it down here, right? Now you're clear on that. So I was doing it down here, which is imported in, but it's this one we want to do. So now if I do a search in here for new Metheist, there it is. Look at that. And it finds your image. So super easy to label things and do a search for things like that. Really, really cool. There's one little trick hopefully you've learned. I learned how to do it myself. That's ace. And we'll close out this. So that can be found down here, this little I button. And that you can add stuff that way to add notes to your images. Right, so we're here back in our photos. We've gone through dragging things in, but also when you select a photo or a video or something like this, we've got this one here. Let's select this video. What it will do is load up in our little screen here for us to play around with. Hello, Jim. Hope you're doing well. Hello, who else do I see who's come in? I think Mr. Smith as well. So let's make this a little bit bigger. So here's our video. And you get access to this just by clicking on it, yeah? Just by clicking on an image or a video, and it gives you a brief look at what's going on here. And here's where you can decide whether you want to import the entire photo or video, or you just want to import a part of it. So you can scroll through this video, yeah, and check things out like this with your little scroll line. And if you get to a point where you're like, yeah, I like this bit from here to there, you can drag these arms to where you want. I only want that much of the video. And then you can just drag this in by grabbing it right here in the video and dragging it down. So you can do that. Or you can drag it across from here, and it will only drag the selected portion you have selected because it remembers. What's really clever about this, as you have a image or video selected here, whatever you choose to cut off or select here, it remembers it within this little section. So now I can grab this, drag it down, and it's only imported that section in here. So when I click on it, it's only imported that. So that's really cool. Nice stuff. Not only that, let's remove it. You can also, when we click on it, you can also hit this little down arrow, and this will drag it into the timeline as well. So you've got options that way. Dragging things in, you can also replace videos. So if we grab something like, let's find another video along here quickly. What have I got? Have I got any videos in here? Let's, I should have. We'll go to videos. Let's grab something from here, like, oh, this one? Oh, no, I can't do that. That'll get me banned. Let's grab this. I can drag this in and actually replace a video, and you are presented with this. Replace clip and ripple timeline or cancel replace. So let's do that. So it actually replaced the portion, the video that was there. So you can replace or go over it, or you can even do something like, let's try bringing in the dancing man and putting him here. And it says, now that I've put it in between two clips, we get keep timeline duration, use new clip duration, or cancel replace. So you can actually go in and use a new clip duration, or I can take that video and replace the same duration as what the previous video was. So if you've got a timeline that's full of things and you're wanting to replace a section, by keeping the same timeline, it will allow you to not mess up everything else. Really, really ace section. I showed you guys this the other day. Let's bring this video in here. I'm just going to drag this in. This is really cool. So if we'll just remove this. I'm going to bring this video back in. Now see, I have this section selected here of this video. I'm going to drag that in and put this at the end of our video. Now just say I want to actually change this. So we'll hit play. I don't want this section of it anymore. I want to create something else here. So what I can do is see this little, these arrows. If I click these, it now brings up this timeline of this video that I have selected. And I can now move this wherever I want in the timeline and keep the same amount of time in this clip, but choose a different section. So I can choose this part now, and now we're golden. So now when we go back to our timeline, it's kept the same amount of video, but it's chosen a different part of it. So these are little tricks that are super cool to get your head around. Anyway, let's get back to our box over here of things we can do. So within we're currently in the photo section here, which we get to from the flower. To go through the sections here, you'll notice here we've got videos and photos. We're in the video section now. If you want to go back one, you just click up here, and this will bring you back to your main menu. So I've got favorites here. If I click on favorites, you'll notice up the top here it changes from photos to favorites. If I want to go back, I go back here, and it brings you back. Now, within these folders, as I said, these are all the photos that are in my iCloud Photos library. And what you will see down here at the bottom is this cached media. Let's talk about this because it's an important feature that has been added to LumaFusion. It's very important. Every time you add something into your timeline in any project now within LumaFusion, it puts that particular image or that particular video or that particular piece of music or sound effect into this cached media folder. Why does it do this? Because you're probably sitting there going, but I don't have a lot of space on my iPad or my iPhone. It does this because in previous versions of LumaFusion, you may have come across this where you've maybe deleted a photo by accident, and when you've opened up your project, there's a missing tile saying this piece of footage is gone from your project, and somehow you may have deleted it from your iCloud, from your photos in the cloud. So this is like a fail-safe that LumaFusion have put in, this cached media folder. So everything you import goes in here as a backup in case your photos library, you delete something from iCloud by accident or now I need you to pay attention to this because it's very important and I've never really talked about this before. And I'm going to have to jump out into the settings to explain this. Now, most of us use the Photos app and know if we go to our Photos app here, you will see if you're using iCloud Photos, you have it turned on and there's this little selection here called Optimize iPad Storage. And what this does is, whenever you take a photo or a video on your device, it will keep a copy of the photo or video at a lower quality and upload the higher quality to the cloud for you to download at another time. So it saves space on your device. Now, if you at some stage ever turn this off, which sometimes we do need to do, if your iCloud photos gets corrupted and photos aren't syncing correctly, we've all probably been in this situation where you've had to turn off your iCloud photos and all your photos disappear, and then when you turn it back on, they all get populated again on your device. Yeah? So the problem is with this and LumaFusion, when you turn off iCloud photos and then turn it back on and it repopulates, Apple gives all of your photos on your device, because they are just optimized versions, not originals, it gives them all new names of random generated letters and numbers, right? So any clips that you would have had in a project previously will now not be found because it's searching for a name that no longer exists because iCloud Photos has been off and on and repopulated the names. So this is why LumaFusion now has this cached media folder to save everything that you import. It's a backup plan so you don't lose this, right? It is what it is. But it's a good thing to understand where this cached media is in your Files app. Yeah, in your Files app, and we'll quickly jump over. So let's just go back to our photos here in LumaFusion, and this is down the bottom, cached media, and you can find this in your Files app. It's good to know around your Files app what is happening inside your Files app. You go to My iPad, and we want to search for LumaFusion. I should put this in name so I can find it easy. LumaFusion, there it is there. And you will find this in your user media. Oh, sorry, I'm going back. In your library media, there are two folders here. This is that folder. So this is where everything's saved. So you can see in here exactly how many gigabytes or size everything is in there if you want to clean anything out. So it's a good fail-safe. It's actually a really good thing to understand how it's happening. So if I save a project and offload it, it won't include all the necessary photos and clips. We will cover this in another video, mascarpone, and I have covered it in other videos before. Let's just jump over to LumaFusion, jump around. The way to keep all of your images when you save a backup of your project is to go down here, click the little box with the arrow. Let me get rid of your question so you can see what I'm doing. So down here, there it is, the little box with the arrow. And you'll see LumaFusion Project Package. You want to click on that. Then you want to hit Share and AirDrop. And then you are given this option here. So include full original media, a larger file, or trimmed media. So what that means is if you import the project with the trimmed media, it will only save the timeline with the stuff you have in there as they are trimmed, as you have trimmed them in the timeline. But if you save the full original media, it will keep the full project, even if you've trimmed stuff in. So you can go back later on and you can readjust because you've got the full image in there. And that will save all of the stuff that is in your timeline. And then you can afford to go in here and remove any of these photos and videos that you've used because they're saved in a project. All right. And let's just finish doing this. So we'll do full media. And then once you're in here, you would hit this little ellipsis thing, give it a name, hit it again. It's just created it. And then you go and save it where you want to save it. So I would save it on an external hard drive. So I hit files and it zips it up for you as well. And I'm in my external hard drive here and I can save that in my Luma projects and that's done. And then you can go in here and remove those images because you don't need them. They're all saved in that project. Good stuff. So that is cached media. Yeah, it's important to understand that. So this is all your photos and stuff like that. If we click over here again, we have linked folders. Let's just click on this briefly. And what you'll see in here is I have a whole bunch of things linked for me to get instant access to. And what are these things? You can see Rocket Pro and Rocket Pro New. What I've done here is I've added direct links to my external hard drive, and I can add anything else here. So if you want a direct link to somewhere, you just click on add link to a folder, and you can do this in your iCloud. You can do this, say, let's just show you. So if I click on it, it takes you to your Files app, and it shows you all the places you can add somewhere to. So if I want to go somewhere on my iPad, or say I want to go on my Rocket Pro and choose this Documents folder, I can click that, hit Done, and now it's added a direct link to that folder anytime I want to go there. External hard drive Documents. And when I click on it, it takes me straight into that folder without me having to open up the Files app. So this little section here, linked folders, allows you to link to anywhere in your Files app that you may use a lot of the time and import stuff. It just saves you time of jumping over to the Files app, sending a file over to LumaFusion, and you've just got all that access straight there just to jump straight in. Really cool stuff. Again, if you want to go back here with your linked folders, so you can see I've got a bunch of places with my Rocket Pro, which is my external hard drive. I've got a bunch of external hard drives. So I have a Seagate hard drive here, you can see. There's my Seagate external 2 terabyte. I can go in here and pick a folder as well. Or I can just pick, see, so it opens up. I can pick any folder I want where things are. So I can pick, what do we got? Audio share. So I have a lot of music from audio share I've offloaded. So I can now select this. And now I have a direct link to my audio share folder within LumaFusion. And there's all this music that I can just drag in whenever I want. Beautiful stuff, yeah? So I really love the integration now of this beautiful linked folders section. So you can, skip all the jumping back and forward between your folders. So that's that. Let's click over here. Here is your imported section. Let's talk about the imported section. Now, you notice there's a lot of different things in my imported section. And what happens is the imported section, it creates folders on the way you import stuff externally from the app. So if I jump out of here and go into Dropbox, right? Where's my Dropbox? Let's do a Dropbox. So if I'm here in Dropbox and choose a file in my Dropbox, let's go to Files, let's find an image. So I've got a mixed down track here, and I click on these dots and I hit Share. How do I do it? Export File. You notice in the share sheet too, throughout iOS, this is really cool. LumaFusion have put directly into the share sheet, they have power with Apple, a share to LumaFusion. So anywhere anywhere you find a file in like a audio share or like another photo app or a video app, whenever you share it, you will always see here, share to LumaFusion. Makes it nice and easy instead of scrolling through here and looking. So now if I hit share to LumaFusion, it's going to download, it's going to export this file, and now it's saved it in LumaFusion. So if I open up LumaFusion, I hope I'm right here, I think I'm right, and now go to Dropbox, it would have added, so it's added this song into my Dropbox imported folder. Lovely stuff. So wherever you import from, what it tends to do here is it creates a folder. So you can see here the folders it's created: audio share, Dropbox, files. So anything that you've imported from files, I think that was the previous files app, iCloud Drive. So these are all photos that I've imported via iCloud Drive, and it's put them all instantly in there. Really cool stuff, how it organizes this for you. So the Over app that I have, Other app, if it's not a recognizable app that it can create a folder for, it will put it in the Other app section. So, but normally when you import something in from an external app, when you open LumaFusion, it'll directly take you to where it's placed the image or video or whatever you're importing. So good stuff. You can see there's, I've got shared, and you can see how many images are in there. So it's really good how it does this for you. This is your imported section. And again, up here, you can hit import media from here, and you can immediately go to sections like, see how I've got import media sources, and you can, let me slow down. Slow down, bitch. Click off. So in this imported section, or anywhere pretty much, these three dots you can click on here, and you can import media from here, and this will take you to your linked folders that we previously looked at. So you can go back here and look at the folders that you've got linked. So you can do this from anywhere as well. Really fancy pants stuff. Let's talk about Storyblocks. So Storyblocks is a paid subscription. As we mentioned, absolutely paid subscription. It's pretty cheap, and you get a whole lot of stuff. You get audio collections, backgrounds, so photo backgrounds, hundreds and thousands of them. I mean, it's ridiculous how much you get in here. You've got videos, 4K, 2K, 1080p, you name it, you can find it. You also get music, so copyright-free music, sound effects, and you'll notice down the bottom here, again, we've got another cached media folder. So this is virtually the same thing that you will find in the Photos version, the Apple Photos version. Anything that you download from Storyblocks, let's give you an example. We're going to footage here. Let's just grab this video here and drag it into our timeline. And you'll see it's trying to load the video because it's got to pull it down from the cloud. Now it's here in our timeline. And if we go back over here to Storyblocks, look at that. It's now in our cached video. So now we have a backup of this anytime we need it, and we won't have to download it again from Storyblocks because it's already saved in our backup. So you need to remember this, that all these images are getting and videos are getting saved in these folders, because that's where your memory's going. That's where all your memory goes. And again, if you want to get rid of this stuff as well, exactly the same place as where I went earlier in the Files app. Here it is. Here's your Storyblocks cached app next to the photo library. So there are those photos. So you can access these within the Files app and see exactly how much room they're taking up too. Yes, yes indeed. Let's get out of there. So that is the cached media. Really just important to know. So let's talk about also searching for stuff in here, because the search in here is really, really wonderful. We'll make this a little bit bigger. Let's bring this down. So with videos and photos, we are in the video section here of Storyblocks. You'll notice down here we get a whole bunch of little keywords to do quick searches. Now these are pretty specific things, like as you can see, if I zoom in a little bit for you. Ooh, it's above my head. Aerial, animals, business, chroma key. So all your green screen stuff will be in here. Nice, easy access for green screen footage. You've got close-ups, effects, food, beverages, historical, nature, all these kind of things, slow motion, time lapse, drone footage, all this kind of stuff. So what's really cool is you can work with this in combination with the search. So say I choose chroma, or let's try something like aerial. We'll do like an aerial. We'll choose a time lapse. And then it's given us all these aerial time-lapse photos. But I want something more specific than that. I want to, say, find an aerial time-lapse in Tokyo. Shall we do that? So if I put Tokyo, what's about Tokyo? Is that right? So if I do a search for Tokyo, look at this. It actually starts finding time-lapse sequences for Tokyo aerial shots. So we've used a combination of this. So make your life easier, yeah? Use these little tabs here to find the simple stuff and then do further searches. Now I want Tokyo maybe in 4K. Can I find a 4K one? All right, so we've got some 4K stuff here. So you can see now all these are 4K. All right, so let's break it down even further. I want Tokyo 4K. I only want stuff in daytime. Did that work? I've still got night stuff. All right, now look, it's broken down all these videos to only, and all the night stuff is down here. So all the daytime stuff is up the top. So, your search functionality within LumaFusion is very, very clever because all of these videos not only have are well named, yeah, so they've all got like 4K time-lapse sequences. They all have notes attached to them like we looked at earlier, and you can add colors to these so you can add them as favorites. And again, as soon as you grab one of these images and drag it into your timeline, that is going to now be saved into your cached photos section. And again, you can change the look of these so you can go to more tiled look if you'd rather do that. Of course, you can search by frame rate. Absolutely. You can do that as well. So what do we want? In a minute. So we've got, you can do all that stuff. You can do by size. I think you can do by 16 by 9 kind of thing. I'm pretty sure you can do that. You can do by, that didn't work. But yes, you can actually go by frame rate. So 60 FPS. Should we try that? That didn't work. Let's try 60. I'm pretty sure. Oh, dude, go back. Okay. Or maybe you can't. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. That didn't work. There we go. Oh, no, it did. There we go. So look, 60 FPS. This one's 60 FPS. So it did pull something that is 60 FPS. And I guess this one is as well. And you can always see that. So that one's 60, but yeah, not perfect there. But so you can definitely, narrow your searches. It is a good idea to get these out. And you got to remember, though, when you click on these, they stay latched. So if you want to get rid of them, you've got to go out here and unlatch them, yeah? Or you'll be searching for like, why can't I find cars? There are no cars in here. And you've got aerial selected and I've done that so many times and I look like an absolute dickhead here in my own studio to myself. So there's your search. Really important to understand how the search works. Now, not only with Storyblocks too, if I download something like we've got here, like this footage, if I go in here to music, click on our music tab, because there's a whole lot of cool-ish music. There is some really cool music, but the music has the similar stuff as well here. So you've got alternative rock, ambience, blues, stingers and stuff like that, classical, corporate, dramatic, easy listening. You've got hard rock and metal. Oh, I bet it's not that metal. But you've got all these things down here that you can select and search for as well. Now, again, if I drag something in here, some music, pop it down there. Now it's downloading into our timeline. And we head back to our Storyblocks. You will notice, is it? Yep, there's our ambient background. There's our music that we've imported in here as well. So everything gets saved into this little cached media folder. Every single thing you import in here. So be aware of that. Those categories are a bit silly. We like silly on this channel. Everything's silly on this silly old channel. Now, remember, you can do this all on iPhone as well. This thing is not, just an iPad kind of thing. So you've got sound effects as well. And there's a hell of a lot of sound effects. There's like machine guns, cartoons. So if we just hit cartoon sound effects, and you can, again, just by tapping on them, you can sample them before actually dragging them in, because whatever you tap on here opens up in this little section here, and you can...
Storyblocks audio.
Now let's talk about that. Did you hear that? It had this little Storyblocks audio over it. Let's hit play on this one.
Storyblocks audio.
Now I'm a paid subscriber. Why am I getting that on there? That happens, I think it's the way that LumaFusion do this. So basically what they do is there are certain free things that you can play around with Storyblocks before paying. So there are some things in Storyblocks you can download for free and use in here. So they just put this across everything in the preview line. But as soon as you bring it into a timeline, that isn't there. So don't ever worry about that. Or if you go into a video or a photo and you see like, hang on a minute, there's a big watermark across the image. That's not very cool. So normally they'll have a watermark in the preview section here. But if you're a paid member, see that? We've got Storyblocks there. As soon as you drag this into your timeline, that is not there because you've paid for this. So again, you can color code these as well, all that kind of jazz. But Storyblocks is amazing. It's absolutely brilliant. It's really cool. And you can go back at any time. Now we've got 5 things in our cache media. So it updates every time you add something in. Okay, shall we talk about titles, sorry. So you do get a whole bunch of titles in here as well with your version of Storyblocks. Are they cool? I don't know. I've never used the pre-made titles. And here they are. You'll see them populated here with standard tiles. Now you're probably looking at mine going, what are these? What are these things? I've imported my own tiles from Rob HK. I bought some Rob HK stuff, and you can import your own tiles, and it's really easy to do. You just we'll cover opening zip files in a sec. But you get these standard tiles and stuff, which you can play around with as titles as well. And they're really easy to use. You just drag over the top, and there's your title. And then you can go into these and edit these as well and add your text. Super easy to do. Go in, change the text here so you can change the shapes. But we'll cover this all in another show. But this is where your titles are. And there's a whole bunch of them. So you can, if you want to start with something. So most of these aren't animated or anything like that. But you can animate them too. We'll cover that in another show as well. But it's super easy to just check out tiles as well. So you can just click on it. And there's your preview of what it's going to look like. Another one. And you can edit these and make them your own. You can add more to them and stuff like that. So that's really cool. Now, this is the titles are a part of LumaFusion. They're not an extra thing that you have to pay for or anything like that. You've got gaudy stuff like that. But, you know, hey, fucking you got to have gaudy stuff. So all these kind of titles you could add in just to kick things off. So that's titles. They're found in here too. Plus, we have transitions. Now, you can, again... You can add your own transitions if you buy transitions, which is really cool. Or you can use the ones that are in here. And there's a shit ton of them. These are really powerful things. Now, how to use these, you can just click on them to see what they do. Right? So you can see this one is a cross dissolve. So it will go from one picture to another. This one is a fade into the next scene. You've got a video cut, which just chops. You've got a flash, which flashes between them. You've got a burst, which takes you to the next scene. So you get an idea of what's going on. You've got these blurs. You've got a grow for people who need Viagra. You've got a shrink. So all these transitions are super easy to have a look at. The swipes to move to next scenes. And they're really easy to import. Once you've found one that you like, you just grab it and drag it in. And hover it in between the 2 clips that you would like it to go between. And it adds this little section here. in between. So now you can see how easy that works. Look at that. How quick was that? And now once you've added in your little transition, you've got the freedom and flexibility to actually decide how long it's going to be. And we'll cover it very quickly. So you need to, once you've added a transition, for you to play around with it, you need to actually click on it. And you can grab the handles here and you can stretch it out. You can make them longer. You can make them shorter. So we can make this a really quick transition now. Whoop, nice and quick. Or you can spread it out to be a bit longer. And what's also cool, and you'll notice when I did that, when I added that into the clips, between those two clips there, we'll just move this title here. I was given an option. So let's zoom in and show you what I mean by that. So let's grab this starburst here and drag it in. So when I drag it over, it either lets me add to the end of the previous clip or to the middle or to the beginning of this clip. So what is the difference between these? If I add this to the end of this clip, it just adds that flash to nothing pretty much. So let's get rid of that. Go back. Now if I add it to the middle of the two clips, it actually does the transition between two. And if I remove that again and add this flash to the beginning of the clip, it will just go to a black screen and flash in. So these are the options that you can use with your transitions. They're super easy to use, yeah? So get used to them. Have a play around with them. Don't be afraid of transitions. You can get some really groovy stuff going on. What's going on? Mr. Pete Johns, welcome to you. Hope you're doing well. We are at this hour mark, so I'm going to do something really cool. Are you ready, guys? Let's do this. Let's do this. It's going to be fun. Just going to scoot over here for a second. Let's go here. I want to thank everybody who are wart warriors on the channel. Thank you very much for being a wart warrior. It only costs $1 to do so. And because I love you all today, I'm going to do something nice for you all. Let's do this. Let's go over here. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to click this. I'm going to click this. And I'm going to click this. And I would like to share with you all, because it's fun. Okay. I am going to, let's see if it works. I'm going to gift 5 lucky people a membership right now. Just click on that little thing in the chat and you'll get a membership right now out of my own money. I'm gifting you a membership right now. Be quick. Click on it, click on it, click on it, click on it. It's yours, it's yours, it's yours. So, Welton Kinder became a wart. Just click on that little image and you'll get a wart membership. There you go. So become a wart warrior. All you got to do is click on it and 5 lucky people will get a free month subscription to becoming a wart warrior. How cool is that? Dean Thomas has become a, a wart warrior. There you go. You know, I had to actually become my own member of my own channel to be able to gift. How ridiculous. Anyway, let's get back to the show. So feel free, go click on it, guys. Get a month's wart warrior. You get a bunch of emojis and all that kind of stuff. And you get to have a bit of fun in the chat. Cool. Don't say I don't do anything for you. All right. All right. So there's our transitions. So that's pretty much everything we've done here. We've got this little WD drive. So this is for a Wi-Fi network if you'd like to set up that. And I don't have this set up, so it's a thing. Yeah. There you go. I don't really need to cover this. But you can add sources here as well. So let's talk about this. You can add sources like your music. You can add your Apple Music to here. So let's do that. Let's drag this in. There we go. You can add, so Frame.io is a web service kind of thing. Narbox is another thing that you can use, which I don't really use, so I'm not going to add this. Now that I've added this music in here, I don't even know what replay is. It's fascinating. I wonder if it tells you. Should I just add it? See what it does? Let's add it. See what it does. Alrighty. Cool, 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 cool. Now, so this section, we've just added some sources there. Now we've got music. What does this do? Keep sharing your music and video activity with these apps. You can also use them with Apple Music. Oh, okay. Should I do that? All right, so it's connected me, it looks like, to my Apple Music. Now, will it let me import songs from here? It doesn't look like it will. That's interesting. I want to see what it does. So I've got 33 playlists here. It's allowing me to use playlists, but I don't think it will let me play songs. So I think how this works is if you're not using Apple Music. So that's interesting. So it's just something I added for no reason. What's this replay thing? I'm interested to see what this is. Dropbox. So, all right. So you can link your Dropbox to this from here. So you can just link and just import stuff from there. So no, I don't want to do that. Let's get out of here. Let's go back to our photos. So there is a basic understanding, I do believe, of our whole media bay. Hopefully you've got a little bit of information out of this particular show. On the coming shows during this month, what we're going to do is take a look at the timeline and understand how all of the timeline works. Then we're going to take a look at the edit section, which is in here with all of our slow-mo and sound and stabilization and LUTs and all these kind of effects and cropping and all this kind of jazz. So we're going to have a dedicated show just for this. And the timeline has a whole lot of stuff going on as well. But the last thing I want to cover today, before we chuff off out of here, else, is this, because I can know it's quite confusing for people, the cleanup section of this app. Now, hopefully I'm going to get this right. So you'll see here when we click on the cleanup section. Now, I wanted to make serious mention of all of the two folders that we looked at in Storyblocks today and in the Photos app, the two cached folders. Right? I keep drawing your attention to it because remember, all those images are getting saved to your device. So clean up temporary device files, temporary files that aren't being used. It knows that none of these files are being used at all, right? So these are cool to remove pretty much. We have a section here called Clean Up Unused Cached Media. And when we click on this, you can actually go in here and choose the folders, and you can get a breakdown of what sections are using this media. So now, remember, this is the cached media file, the folder. This is where the cached media is stored. This isn't like your Photos app or anything like that. So now if I turn on the Photos app, I can remove all this cached media that has come from, see this folder here, cached media. It will clean out all of the images in my cached media folder that are not currently being used by a project. Okay? Now I can turn these off, so just to be safe that we're not going to remove anything there. You can clean up all cached media. Now the thing with this one is, this will clean up everything in the cached media. So you can see here in our Photos cached media, we have 1.87 gig. Yeah. And in our Storyblocks, we've got 196 megabytes. This will clean up all of it. It won't look at your projects at all. It won't understand anything. It will just remove all of it. So, you don't want to do that or you will run into problemos. Automatic cache cleanup settings. So you can go in here and set your settings as well and decide which things you want turned on permanently. Yeah, so that's another thing there. But still, in my opinion, use this as a guide, understand what's going on, and use it in conjunction with the knowledge that you can see in your cached folder and by accessing it over here in your Files app, where you can see exactly what's going on and you know what these images are, these videos, you can see them, all that kind of jazz, yeah? So understand that. But that is a brief look at the cleanup folder. So, but the cached, these cached folders that they have included here in LumaFusion are fantastic because it keeps them all in one place and you know exactly what is going on. Yeah, that is a look at our media library. I hope you have got a little bit of understanding out of this. I don't think there's anything else that I needed to cover today. I'm pretty sure we are all good there. Yes. For example, as well, just a little tip, last thing. Sometimes you add a photo into your Photos app. Say you download a photo from the internet and you check here in your little photos and videos and you can't see it. You're like, where is it? Why can't I see that photo I just downloaded? A really good thing to, if you can't see a photo like that, go and check here in recently added. Because what happens is sometimes you may download a photo from the internet and it's got a date that's 5 years ago. Yeah. So when you go to look at it in your Photos app, in your Photos section, it's not at the top because it's kept the metadata in it that says 5 years ago. But if you look at recently added, this keeps tabs on the new things that you've just dragged into your Photos app. So if you can't find something that you've just added, always go and check in your recently added section, and that maybe help you find that. Yes, indeed. So there you go. I'm not sure exactly what the next episode will be on for LumaFusion. Probably the timeline next. So, but I hope you've all got something out of this. If so, do the likey thing, do the subby thing, and all the things that people normally yell at you to do. And it makes the algorithms all funky and sexy and happy and jazzy and all that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? And let me know in the comments below about your love of LumaFusion. Do you like it? What do you think should be changed? Is there any suggestions you have? You know what I would love? I'm going to talk about this because they may see this. Imagine, yeah, this as a cool thing. So imagine, let's just clear all this out for a second and delete all this. Go up to my videos and just drag in this video. So imagine this as a feature. So just pretend this video here is an hour long, right? This is an hour long video. And it's got, say, like Russ's video with all of his songs in one video clip for his album. And I wanted to chop this up into individual songs. Imagine if you could go in here and put a marker, say there, put a marker there, and then put a marker here, put a marker there, put a marker there, put a marker there. And then when you export, it goes through the file and cuts off each of the files at the markers and saves them as individual things. That would be awesome. LumaTouch, make it happen. That would be sick. It would be so much easier for editing. I would love to see that feature added in here. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I've taken up way too much of your time. And, also, down below in the description, there's a link to the Discord. Come over and join the Discord. There's a new section in there for Midjourney. If you've been making photos with Midjourney, come and share your photos over there on the Discord, at the How to App on iOS Discord. That would be awesome. And I'm going to leave you with a preview of something that's coming for Songtember. Are you ready? Let's do it. This is the brand new album cover for the track that I'm working on in Songtember for Metheist. The track is called Anger. I have no idea what it's going to sound like yet, but this is the artwork for my Songtember song already done using Midjourney. It's going to be hell sick. All right, guys. I'll see you later. Remember, do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better, and we all rise together. And Pete Johns is coming up soon, an hour and a half's time with GarageBand Weekly. So go over and head over and check his channel because he's awesome, yeah? Do all the things. See you later. Love ya. Bye.